Defense, you may now call your next witness to the stand.
The defense calls Prince Ivan to the stand. So, Prince Ivan, would you begin by explaining the state of the Kievan Rus just before the Golden Horde arrived?
Horrible. They couldn't make up their stupid minds. All they would do was argue about who's going to be prince. So we started using force to set up these affairs. Not pretty at all.
And what happened when the Golden Horde began their campaign in Russia?
Well, we Russians are stubborn. And when I mean we're stubborn, I don't mean we stood a chance against the Horde. God, no. But when I mean we're stubborn, I mean we had our heads stuck in the ground. We heard of this affair, but we didn't think much about it.
So would you say that the Russian resistance was easily defeated?
Resistance? What has one not have been one? We flopped over like a dead fish, flopped around a little bit. What could we do?
So what happened to Moscow in particular after the Golden Horde to control over Russia?
Well, as ruler, part of my job was tax collector. This changed after the Mongols came.
How so?
Well, they made me tax collector, and people started trading, and weren't going at each other's throats anymore.
But what about the city of Moscow itself? How did it change?
Well, it got a lot bigger, that's for sure. If somebody by us wasn't doing so well, they become part of Moscow. More money too, a lot more.
And what would you say was the cause of this?
The Mongols, ending violence with just a little bit more violence.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Prosecution, you may now cross-examine the witness.
Seeing as you are the Prince of Moscow, would I be right in assuming that you know quite a bit of its history?
I suppose so.
So, how old would you say the city is?
Very.
Okay, then how old is it compared to the surrounding towns and cities?
Older?
If Moscow is so old, then would that mean that quite a bit of Russian history is a part of it?
Yes, I suppose so.
Then let me ask you this. What happened when the Golden Horde attacked?
It was damaged.
But to what extent?
They knocked down a few walls, burned a few things, what any invader would do. That's what I would do if I wanted to keep the city afterwards.
You say they burned some things. How much of the city did they actually burn?
A lot.
Would you say the whole city?
No, not the whole city. We were better defenders than that at all. What the hell, yes.
And didn't you say there is a lot of history in Moscow?
Then this will be a part of it. Me and my city are rich. I mean, I can finally spit on those overpigs who tried to stop me before. I am rich!
Order in the court, order in the court. Mr. Ivan, please refrain from name-calling. And that goes for all of you. This is the last time I will say it. The very last. Defense.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Defense, you may now call your next witness to the stand.
The defense would like to call the Silk Road trader Kim Lee to the stand. Please explain to the jury your occupation.
I use the Silk Roads to trade Islamic carpets, textiles, ivories, metalwork, and ceramics with my dear friends in China who give me silk spices, teas, and fabrics.
And what are your thoughts on the actions of the Mongols?
I don't understand. What do you mean by action?
The Mongol invasion, control and changes they made to the Silk Roads.
Traveling through the Silk Roads under Mongol control felt easier, safer, and more convenient than ever before.
How so?
I know that Mongols keep peace and stability through their regions better than in the past. After the fall of the Tang dynasty, the Mongols allowed more trade to flow through the trade routes.
And how else is trade better for you?
Well, the Mongols ended the Abbasid Caliph al-Mu'tasim monopoly over trade, which increased my family's wealth. With this extra money, I'm able to support my family and expand my trade, which will also help the economy.
How else did Mongols affect your trade on the Silk Roads?
They created more routes and now we are able to travel through our grasslands, which is easier on our animals. Because before, we had to go through the deserts, and that was bad, and the nomadic peoples would not allow us to go through their land, and the nomadic people considered foreign trade to be trading with the enemy. So the commercial centers along the Silk Road were the seasonal Mongol camps. They increased in number.
Continue.
These Silk Roads helped bring more converts to my true faith, Judaism. As I traveled through the trade routes, it's real interesting to see the diffusion of artistic ideas onto different regions, one of which I preferred was Greco-Buddhist art. Imagine ideas from different times and places diffusing to each other.
And how is your personal relationship with the Mongols?
Well, I know that they are not barbaric peoples who only have one arm and one leg. Some would have you think that. They are actually very accepting to foreign traders. They received and sent diplomats with courtesy. In fact, I have a really good relationship with them because they try to keep good relationships with experienced traveling merchants like me.
Thank you. No further questions.
You may stand down.